there was no internal liquidity, this fed it liquidity, it fed it stops. There's the buy stops right there. Gave it a reason to go with there. Comes in here. It comes here to the 15-minute, right? You can get a 15-minute strong high. Nothing wrong with that. The market's fractal, guys. Or it could be a 5-minute strong high. Short there. It can even be a 1-minute strong high. The market is fractal. There is no, is it only 15 or 5 gonna react from here? Any time frame can react from here. Any lower time frame. Sometimes a 4-hour might even give you its own strong high, but you're barely gonna see it. It's gonna be so small and just so cluttered that regardless, you gotta just jump down to at least a 1 hour. Right? So, and then this is any range from here to here. Your range. This is a obstacle because it's in the way of the overall downtrend. Let's say we're bearish. This now created a new high. A new high right there. Right? So down, pull back, down. Right? So that's an obstacle. So we can get a nice retracement. But now we have a range from here after we get a break in the opposite direction from here. That's a new range. Comes to a POI. That POI must be a higher time frame POI. And now, if you do not see anything clear on the 4-hour, then you obviously have to break it down to the 1, to the 30, and even to the 15, in some cases to the 5-minute to see a clear point of interest. The market is fractal. POIs are fractal, liquidity is fractal. Right? The POIs have their own set of rules. But you always start from the higher time frame POIs. Now, of course, if this is a 15-minute range, you're not going to go all the way to the weekly or daily. Start from the 4, 1, 30. And then find the closest POI to liquidity. That's the one you're going to choose. The POI that's closest to liquidity. So you have to see a price being delivered. Main inducement, there's an imbalance right here. But then there's an unmitigated wick up here. This is the closest to liquidity. That's the one you're going to take. If that fails, failure swing, this now fell liquidity into this wick. So then we choose that one. Then we take that short. There's a reason for everything. That's why we react and we adapt. We don't guess. So every time you look for a POI, you're always going to start from the higher time frames. And then just slowly break it down to the 130 until you see something that makes sense to you. If you do not see, for example, if you do not see a clear order block, let's say when you're down like the 130 or 15, then just use this as a whole POI and just wait for price to give you a reaction in here. Don't try to guess it. Right? Don't forget the rules. There must be liquidity being here, being fed into this. So if you're breaking this down to the 1 minute to the POI all the way up here, there's a high chance it's not going to go there. You're over refining the POI. That's why we always use a higher time frame. Drop it down a few time frames, 1 or 2, that'll be fine. Find the closest POI to liquidity. I know it sounds a little bit complicated, but trust me, when you go to the charts and you start applying all this stuff, it will slowly start to make sense. It's not going to make sense right now as much, but when you start applying this to the charts, it will slowly make sense. The market is fractal. It's impossible to have only a set of time frames. If we only have a set of time frames, let's say only 1 hour, 4 hour, and 15 minutes, we're gonna miss a lot of moves. We're not gonna understand why it went to a certain area. Then the whole point of this being logic goes out the window. If this is logic trading, then we gotta use logic. We gotta think outside the box a little bit. We gotta crack our head a bit. It's not gonna be easy. It will be simple, but it won't be easy in the beginning. It will require a lot of chart work. And I'm being honest here. It's gonna require a lot of chart work, a lot of hours into the charts to train your eyes to see it this way. Now, I don't want you to feel discouraged. It's okay to not understand the first few weeks. It's okay not to understand nothing the first few weeks. If it's new for you, it's like learning a new foreign language. If you don't speak Spanish, then it's gonna be hard, right? If you don't speak English, it's gonna be hard. When you first get started, it'll be hard, but eventually you will learn it. That's with everything in life. So now, let's say I took a trade right here. There's the inducement, and then I took a short right here. All right, maybe you didn't see this. Maybe you didn't see this. Let's say this right here is the 5 minute, but you were on the 1 hour waiting for it to give you something, the confirmation. But because you were on the 1 hour, you didn't see this. So I took the trade and it tanked. And I made my percentage, but you didn't. You're not doing nothing wrong. You just didn't see it. And if you don't see something, if you don't understand it, don't take it. Like I mentioned, at the end of the day, it's going to be human error. It's going to be just lack of experience. Simple as that. It's just human error. You can't blame nobody else but you. You have the rules. You have the steps. You know what you're looking for. Now it's time for you to get used to seeing it on the charts. All right? But these are the time frames, guys. The market is fractal. And these are the ones that we're going to be using. Everything you learned so far, we're going to apply the same way. All right. Now, before I end this, I do want to say something else because it's very important. It doesn't matter how many videos you watch of me breaking down charts, of me, teaching you. It's not going to click until you put in the work. Simple as that. Simple as that. Because it's like you watching a fitness trainer or a personal trainer. You're watching him work out. He's teaching you and showing you how to lift weights. But you're just sitting down watching him. How do you expect to get results? You can't. Let's say that you bought a course that has over 100 hours and you watch that course so many times, but never in your life you put it to practice in real life. Let's say you watch a course on how to paint, 50 plus hours. You're addicted to learning. You're addicted to watching the videos. It feels good. But when you go to the charts, you feel lost. Or in this case, we're talking about paint, right? When you go paint, you feel lost. You completely forgot everything you saw. Well, how do you learn? How do you grow? You grow and you learn by messing up, by, I don't like the word failure, but by taking a few losses. And it's okay to lose. It's okay to not understand. It's okay to feel a little bit lost. It's okay. That's how you learn. Okay. So don't expect everyone. Of course, some of you may have experience and might get this down in a month or two, but don't expect everyone to be, you know, killing the markets, you know. And if you are, amazing. If you're still struggling, keep going. If this is how you want to trade, if you like the way I trade, my strategy, and this is what you really want to do, I promise you, keep going. It'll be worth it. Now, I know it's a lot of time frames to use. I know it's kind of complex, but once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And it will become very simple. And you will have a boost of confidence. All right, that's it for time frames. And everything you know so far, apply to these time frames. Start going to the chart, marking out your ranges, seeing how fractal they are. Start to understand the liquidity, the external, internal. Start practicing. Because you're only gonna get good at this by putting in the work. You get out what you put in. Other than that, guys, on to the next one.